What attracted you to start working with InTuition languages?
Well, I came to teaching fairly late. I've been doing lots of other jobs, and I began working inquiring about homestay working a little before I met anyone from Intuition. I saw an advertisement in a newspaper window, and I inquired what it was like because I had been working in another job, and I'd been mostly working at home. Like the idea of working from home. I think about 9 years ago, I started working for Intuition. I found that Intuition is very stable. That although people come and go in different jobs, um, in any walk of life, mostly I still have a continuity, a contact with people at Intuition, and it makes it much easier for me as a teacher to deal with. And I should imagine it makes it easier for agents in other countries as well. And I've always found dealing with the people at Intuition very easy. They all seem very nice.
What do you enjoy most about hosting and teaching Intuition students?
I think as regards hosting, I suspect most teachers would say the same thing, that what's most enjoyable is having the opportunity to meet a wide variety of people from different places and to learn something about their lives and how they live at the same time as they are learning something about English and how we live in the UK. As for the teaching, I think the most satisfying thing always is being able to help people progress. I think most of the students who come to me tend to come for short courses, and I think you have to be realistic about this. I think if you come for 1 week, you're not going to see a dramatic improvement in your ability, but nonetheless, it is possible to help a student get a more secure foundation for their own learning as they continue, because you're not going to stop learning just the moment the course finishes. And I think what is most easy to measure is when you see a student with increased confidence. So even if they're not going to remember everything they learn during a week, because you cannot remember everything you learn, they will go away feeling more secure in their ability to speak and use the language.
Can you tell us a story about a student who really made an impression on you during their stay? What happened?
I remember many students, just to pick out almost at random a couple. I had a Swiss gentleman come to me about 3 or 4 years ago, I think, and his English really wasn't very good, but he had decided to really very seriously apply himself to learning the language, and he came to England for a month. Now he spent the first 2 weeks with me, and then he decided to go to a school. So he moved on and went to a different part of London and did the school course. And he certainly made progress, but I could see that he was making a very determined effort to proceed. He had decided that this was the moment he was going to advance in his English learning. So he really applied himself very thoroughly to learning, and he came back. He came back to see me about a year ago. He was in London on holiday with his 2 little boys, and he came down for lunch, and I was very pleased to see how far he had progressed, because he had kept working. He had taken what he'd learned here as the beginning of a journey, and just continued under his own steam, and done incredibly well. So I remember him, and I would say that probably most of my students are adults.
What advice would you give to a new intuition teacher?
Everybody works differently. You have to find your own best method of working. But in my case, I don't like to start a course with preconceived ideas. I don't. When a student comes to me, I never say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a course. We're going to use a book. I try not to use books if I can. We're going to learn a set agenda, a curriculum. The most important thing at the beginning is to listen to what the student says, to try and learn what his or her needs are, and to work from there. The key is to listen, and I think you must always let the student do the talking as much as possible, and that would be my very simple piece of advice, which is easier to say than to do.
Tell us a top English learning tip in 30 seconds.
I think when you've finished your course, you need to keep working, and you need to keep working at your own pace, and there's not usually a chance of much conversation, but you can continue to read English, and you can continue to watch videos, listen to audio material. My advice is only read and listen about subjects that interest you.